Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
people who have cheated before, why did you do it? Insecurity. I was always on the lookout for someone who would make me feel more desirable than the last. Once I grew up emotionally, I realized what a POS I was and the hurt it caused. Hard to live with TBH. Edit. Can I just make it clear I was not a serial adulterer? It was a youthful lack of judgment. This is incredibly self-aware. Kudos to you. I kept dying. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. He cheated first, and I was young, petty, and thought revenge would make me feel better. Oh man. Same here. Can't say I regret it TBH, but I would never do it again. It's never worth the hassle. So, it wasn't a fun tap 8600. 100% pure lust. That's it. I'm not proud of it. And willing partners. It was amazing how many times when I did have a steady girlfriend I would suddenly get propositioned by random women, or worse yet, my girlfriend's friends or sisters. Too many times to be a fluke. It was like they figure if you are in a relationship you're worth pursuing. But when I was single, most times I couldn't get a woman's attention. So it was an ego boost, but ultimately I decided to be a better person, and like some have said, I met a person who I truly thought was the one. And to a certain extent I did. It just didn't last through no fault of my own. Lots of factors. 1. You're absolutely right once you're taken. Some women may see you as worth pursuing. Some may also see you as a validation conquest, but there are other factors too. If you're in a relationship, you're probably not coming off as trying too hard. You're more relaxed and more confident. Probably don't have sex as a goal as often. You also are proven not a creep. You're safe. Also a very good chance you're more sociable with single women. When you're single, you're probably mostly hanging out with your friends, who are probably mostly guys or their girlfriends. When you're in a relationship, you're probably hanging out at least some with her friends, who are more likely to be women. This is what recently happened to my husband. We've been married 15 years and it was a woman online who played the same video game as we did. And happened to be local. I wasn't around much because I had been taking a break for other games, and she thought all of his commentary about his wife was a joke and he didn't actually have a wife. She eventually propositioned him outright and he reiterated he was married, and she was so embarrassed. He gave me full disclosure when it happened and we laughed it off as a joke. However, she kept being flirty and like being weird about wanting him to take her to a special restaurant that was local and that it would be his treat. At that point he was like, you should join this Discord server just so she knows you're real, and after I joined she pretty much fell off the face of the planet and disappeared. Which in a way sucks because from what I understood she and I had similar interests and could have been friends. But it's very obvious in hindsight she just wanted to fuck my husband and was treating this online game as a potential dating app. In hindsight, after all of this, I also call bullshit that she didn't think he was married and was in reality testing to see if he'd still meet her. Unbridled ego, unsatisfying regular sex life, and a girl who threw herself at me. I was an idiot, I acted like an asshole, and I will regret it the rest of my life. I mean, at least you're honest about it. It was a hard truth to face. It was a dark time in my life where my ego and my immaturity caused me to hurt several people I loved. Fortunately I learned from it. And while I can't take back the pain I caused, at least now I know what I am 100% capable of being an asshole, and so can choose not to be one. Basically, whenever you start to consider cheating on your partner, give it a test wank first. Before every major decision in your life you should first wank. It clears your mind. Directions unclear. Just got kicked out of the car dealership. It's not fair. I'm a woman. Post-nut clarity only lasts like 15 seconds. Then I'm ready to sin again. But as a guy, I have to wait about 20 minutes before I can disappoint you again. When you grow up being in turn neglected and told you're not good enough. Validation is like a drug. And intimacy is the ultimate validation. So much therapy to undo this. I'm just recently realizing how I didn't receive enough attention and validation from my parents. And how much it's influenced my choices. Meeting someone and having them be into me physically is the easiest validation boost I can find. People who grew up with parents actually interested in them and with an instilled sense of self-confidence don't know how good they have it. I don't inherently feel important or relevant, so I'm always looking for someone to tell me otherwise. I recently split up with my ex because I found out she cheated. She's not a bad person, but she's grown up in a difficult family. Mostly because her brother is unwell mentally, and has been for a while. So a lot of her parents' attention went to him and keeping him out of trouble. She has extremely low self-worth. Somehow she needs external validation. And while I was able to fulfill that while near her, it went down the drain once we went long distance. I would have never expected her to cheat. She was the sweetest soul in the world. But the craving for attention and validation. Somehow you can be the best person in the world one moment, But that shit will tear you apart and make you cheat on someone you love and adore. Apparently. Anyway, just wanted to give a thumbs up. You hit the nail on the head there, I think. If you cheated, I hope you forgive yourself. Although no one deserves it, you didn't do it because you're a bad person.